And this is
meeting to order at 6:30. Alright, call this meeting to order at 6:34 p.m. on Tuesday, the 18th, 2010. Roll call. Myself is here. Dr. Schweidenbach, City Solicitor Pat Wall, Chief Inspection Gary Sylvia, and Dr. Andrew. We have many items on the agenda today, and we're going to have a last-minute addition to the agenda. We will allow a statement presented by Eddie Johnson. There was miscommunication on how to become on the agenda, and we want to just communicate that to you, that there needs to be a formal request by writing to the board, and we'd like to receive that within 2 weeks of the next meeting, and so that's usually the formal procedure of how that works. But as a courtesy, we would let Mr. Johnson speak tonight, brief statement of what it is that you'd like us to hear. So do you want to...
But before we do that, Dr. Exafaris, would you tell them that they are a date that you are giving them to come back?
So, well, you have to request to be heard at our next meeting. We have not scheduled a date. We usually schedule at the end of the meeting. I'm not sure if you want to schedule that now, or we can just have it available. So if you call into the health department tomorrow, we can tell you what that date is.
Okay.
Okay, sure.
Maybe if it would be all right with the board to kind of go a little bit out of order, if we want to be scheduled, and we could schedule it now, we usually do it at the end of the meeting, to accommodate all these people who are here so they know when they'll be coming back.
So the only way to get that in June. So we're not going to talk about it?
Why didn't somebody know that?
Alright, so the next meeting will be scheduled for Tuesday, June 15th, 6:30 p.m.
June what? June 15th.
Okay. You want me to go ahead? As you can see,
Oh, yeah, come to the table and just state your name, please.
My name is Eddie Johnson. I live at 129 Willis Street. I'm the president of Clean, and as you can see, this room is filled with mothers and children, and in particular people who have an interest in what is going on. What I gave Pat, I'm also going to give you, Madam Chairman, because this is what, on that document, is a lot of the issues that these people are confronted with. You have a number of people in here who have cancer. At 11 o'clock today, if you're listening to WBSM, Claudia, who is in this audience now, she spoke about the cancer that she has at 34 years old and had a breast removal or breast cancer. There are a lot of cancer issues related to West Lawn, Parkdale, Potter Street, and Central Heights. None of these issues has ever been brought before this board, and neither has this board been allowed to get involved in this issue. For whatever reason, we don't know, and we don't care about that. What we do care about is that each one of these folk in here, these mothers, these children, and all of these people who have these illnesses, and we're not coming here to say that the illnesses are directly related to cancer, toxic contamination. But what we are saying, that there is an overabundance of cancer cases, there's an overabundance of rashes, there's an overabundance of a lot of things that is associated with toxic contamination. What we did was go and do some research and make sure that the document that we presented to you tonight would have enough available information that when this group comes back, and I know that you don't want to hear from 60 people, there are quite a few of these mothers and children and people here who do wish to address their New Bedford New Board of Health Commissioners. Last night there was a meeting. I don't know how many people attended up at the Boys Club with Dr. Mark Mitchell. Some of you may know him, some of you may not. However, Dr. Mark Mitchell is not licensed to practice in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. So for these people to go out to talk to Dr. Mark Mitchell just didn't make sense. There's nothing that he can do in terms of medical diagnosis or medical research to help them one way or the other. So they would have wasted their time last night in speaking to someone who comes in here for the evening, who's getting paid by EPA, who's going to get in his car as soon as the meeting is over with the Boys Club and go back to Connecticut. That is something that we don't want to be associated with. Dr. Andrade is the only woman that's ever operated on me. So if I'm looking for any response from a medical person, and I know that I believe that you're a pediatrician as well, is that these are the people, you are the people, this health board are the people that need to hear these problems. Can you resolve them? I don't think you can resolve them, but I do think that this health board has enough influence and enough outside reach to get ASTDR, the state health department in. I've already talked to the young lady here, Mary Ann, and she's explained the budget deficits and all of that. That's all well and good, but the problem still remains. There are grave and serious health issues that this board needs to hear, needs to document, and needs to assist in any way that you can. You know how you can assist. We don't know how you can assist. But we do know this. If you are, the problem is never brought before you, there is nothing that you can do. It's never been on an agenda. I'm glad that you gave me the opportunity to speak. And I'm not a person that lives at West Lawn or Parkdale or Central Heights or Potter Street. And if you would allow one other person besides myself to explain to you what these young folks' problems are, these mothers, these people that live there, I would appreciate that, and I would eliminate myself from talking to you right now, and that is Deidre Ramos. Deidre is responsible for organizing, and she has did a tremendous job in organizing most of these people here. Last week at the DFW on Park Street, it was a packed house, and these people are out again. So they are concerned about health-related issues for babies, for children, and all of that. So if you would just give her a few moments to say what she has to say. We will be back, you said the 15th, right? And you need a letter. That letter will be in within the next 2 days. It will be here so that these people can be heard on the agenda. I don't know if you want to set a special time because you've got so many people that want to meet.
You won't be able to hear everyone. You will have
I know
to
you
have a
won't be able to
representative.
hear everyone.
Have to have a representative. And that would be an opportunity if Deirdre would like to speak to us at that point. She could be the representative of the group, but we would not be able to listen to every single person in this room.
Well, it's 50 or 60 people here. I know you don't have the time because you'd be here till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning doing that. But there should be a representative speaking to you from West Lawn, from Parkdale, from Central Heights, as well as Potter Street. If that could be accommodated at the next meeting, then I think that we have some kind of communication going here. Are you going to allow her to say a few words?
Okay. I do want the group to know what our function is. We may be physicians on a board, but our job is not to diagnose the residents of the city, treat them, or evaluate them. We strongly recommend that you do see your own healthcare provider for all and every health concern there is.
I understand. Everybody here understands that, but we do understand that this health department has a responsibility if there are major health problems that is going through a community. Who would you go to? You would go to this health department to have them review it, investigate it, put whatever into it.
Do you have evidence that shows that West Lawn, the health problems that are in West Lawn, are specific and unique just to West Lawn and nowhere else in the city? Do you have that evidence showing that there's a cluster there that does not exist anywhere else?
We have a cluster of cancer cases. We have a cluster of rashes.
Show us? Because that would be great if you could submit that with your letter so we can review that.
Yes, we can do that. We can also add that document to it.